Call to order, Town of Prescott Valley, regular town council meeting, March 28th, 2024. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Greer.
Here.
Councilmember Leyva. Councilmember Leyva, Councilmember Greer.
Here.
Councilmember Dickinson.
Here.
Councilmember Hepperly.
Here.
Councilmember Schumacher.
Present.
Vice Mayor Hunt.
Present.
Mayor Plaguda.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, ma'am. At this time, I'd like to welcome down Pastor Tony De La Riva for our invocation and our pledge of allegiance. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, guys. Father, thank you for this great nation that we live in and for this community that we have where we are able to live in peace and in freedom and to live quiet lives and to work with our hands and to do as we see fit with the things that we possess. I thank you for the role of each one of these council members in providing and sustaining that. Lord, I pray that you would continue to do that through them, and that tonight you would give each one of them wisdom and sensibility and humility to defer to one another when appropriate, all in order that we might be able to preserve the lives that we have. And we even pray the influence would go out from this community across the state and the nation. And these things I ask for the sake of the Lord Jesus. Amen. The salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Next up, proclamations. First one will be Fair Housing Month proclamation.
Fair Housing Month, April 2024. Whereas the Fair Housing Act, enacted on April 11, 1968, enshrined into federal law the goal of eliminating racial segregation and ending housing discrimination in the United States. And whereas the Fair Housing Act prohibits discrimination in housing based on race, color, religion, sex, familial status, national origin, and disability, and commits recipients of federal funding to affirmatively further fair housing in their communities. And whereas the town of Prescott Valley is committed to the mission and intent of Congress to provide fair housing and equal housing opportunities for all. And whereas our social fabric, the economy, health, and environment are strengthened in diverse, inclusive communities. And whereas more than 50 years after the passage of the Fair Housing Act, discrimination persists and many communities remain segregated. And whereas acts of housing discrimination and barriers to equal housing opportunity are repugnant to a common sense of decency and fairness. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Kel Plaguda, Mayor of Prescott Valley, do proclaim the month of April 2024 as Fair Housing Month in the town of Prescott Valley, as an inclusive community committed to fair housing and to promoting appropriate activities by private and public entities to provide and advocate for equal housing opportunities for all residents and prospective residents of Prescott Valley. Thank you.
Mayor, members of council, it's been about 56 years since the Fair Housing Act was actually placed into law. The need to enhance public awareness of fair housing rights, highlight fair housing enforcement efforts, and the emphasis of the importance of creating diverse, inclusive communities has not diminished since that time. Thank you for recognizing the crucial role that fair housing plays in creating diverse and inclusive communities.
Next up is National Library Week proclamation.
Whereas libraries offer the opportunity for everyone to connect with others, learn new skills, and pursue their passions no matter where they are on life's journey. And whereas libraries have long served as trusted institutions striving to ensure equitable access to information and services for all members of the community, regardless of race, ethnicity, creed, ability, sexual orientation, gender identity, or socioeconomic status. And whereas libraries adapt to the ever-changing needs of their communities, developing and expanding collections, programs, and services that are as diverse as the populations they serve. Libraries are accessible and inclusive places that promote a sense of local connection, advancing understanding, civic engagement, and shared community goals. And whereas libraries play a pivotal role in economic development by providing resources and support for job seekers, entrepreneurs, and small businesses, thus contributing to local prosperity and growth, libraries make choices that are good for the environment and make sense economically, creating thriving communities for a better tomorrow. And whereas libraries are treasured institutions that preserve our collective heritage and knowledge, safeguarding both physical and digital resources for present and future generations. And whereas libraries are an essential public good and fundamental institutions in democratic societies, working to improve society, protect the right to education and literacy, and promote the free exchange of information and ideas for all. And whereas libraries, librarians, and library workers are joining library supporters and advocates across the nation to celebrate National Library Week. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Kel Plaguda, Mayor of the Town of Prescott Valley, proclaim April 7th through the 13th as National Library Week and encourage all residents to visit their library and celebrate the adventures and opportunities they unlock for us every day. Ready, set, library.
Who out there has a library card? Oh, I want to see more hands in that. You come after this meeting, go and get a library card. We need you. Libraries are amazing. And I can't underscore the importance of libraries. Libraries and especially our library staff play a vital role in our community, and especially our staff. Without our staff, our community wouldn't be able to come in and fill out job applications. They wouldn't be able to create resumes. And our staff, they're incredible and hardworking and dedicated. They are true public servants to our community. And I can't thank our wonderful staff enough. And we have some, yay, library staff. All right, thank you.
Next up, item 4, Student of the Month.
The Town of Prescott Valley, in collaboration with the Optimist Club of Yavapai County and Bradshaw Mountain High School, are honoring 2 outstanding students for the month of March, Ashley Ramos and Jordan Kelly. We are recognizing these students because of their school and community engagement, and they've been nominated by school staff and instructors at Bradshaw Mountain High School. I think we just have one with us today, right? Yes. Okay, so just Ashley. Oh, okay, cool. So we'll go ahead and hear a little bit from Ashley on her achievements. Come on up.
Do I go behind this thing or?
If you want to talk to council, you can, or you can talk to the audience.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Ashley Ramos. I am currently a senior at Bradshaw Mountain High School. My academic journey at Bradshaw over the past 4 years has certainly been one with ups and downs. If I'm being honest, sometimes I wish I would have done more or been more involved with my peers in schools. However, I don't want that to discredit all my efforts and challenges I've had to overcome. My academic career has been filled with a wide range of opportunities at Bradshaw, some of my favorite being a teacher aide for the past 2 years and getting to learn the process and school function and how we as a school work together. The other was being able to attend Yavapai College as a part-time student and get a glimpse into my possible future and what that could look like for me. Some of my own hardships have been balance and time. Having to be a full-time student as well as a part-time employee has been one of the toughest challenges of my life, but I am certainly grateful that it has happened. There was many times where I just wanted to give up and not show up for myself the way I wanted to. However, I am proud to say that has not stopped me from achieving my goals as a student and most importantly, as a person. My future after graduation is I hope to attend Yavapai College as a full-time student in a pursuit of a bachelor's degree in science in nursing. And I hope to then continue to serve my community here at Yavapai County. Winning this award in March is certainly funny to me, considering how March continues to prove itself year after year, one of the challenging ones for me. And that can be from moving to being diagnosed with an autoimmune disease or battling senioritis. But through it all, I persevere. I want to thank all the wonderful teachers and staff at Bratcha Mountain High School. With their support and help, I was able to navigate the past 4 years as a student. I want to give thanks to my greatest allies, my friends, and thank you to my brother as well for being one of my biggest mentors and one of the people I look up to the most. Lastly, I want to thank my parents for their hard work and efforts. They are one of the biggest reasons I am here today, thus always providing me with the biggest support system ever. Thank you for bestowing this award upon me. This is a moment I will never forget.
And Principal Bradshaw, are you going to read Jordan's bio?
Yes, thank you. I'll just do my whole thing too. Thank you, Mayor Palguda and Councilmember Hepperly for always having us once a month. My favorite time of the month, so we enjoy always celebrating our students. Tonight, Jordan couldn't make it. He had something else come up, so he had to leave. The nice part is we had another wonderful student, Miss Kylie, who came to support her peers. So I said, you know what? You get to receive Jordan's award and you can give it to him on Monday. So Jordan, he has been on the honor roll student for all 4 years of his high school while being a two-sport athlete. He's extremely happy to have been awarded the Student of the Month. He's been a starter on varsity football for 3 out of the 4 years. And he's a nice, solid kid, so he does a really good job. We're going to miss him next year for sure. He's also been a captain of our football team and put a lot of time and effort into his academic career, and would like to thank everyone who has allowed him to receive this award tonight. So thank you. I also like to introduce our brand new principal, our assistant principal, Mr. Dante Edmondson.
And representing the Optimist Club, Mr. Mike Whiting.
Well, we're all very happy to be here today. It's always exciting, especially for the students. And as I always say, I think it's hard to find another venue. So we do thank the council for allowing us to be here to recognize several students every month. Otherwise, I think they'd be unspoken heroes at Bradshaw Mountain High School. And that's one thing I know a lot of the civic organizations as well as Optimists like to recognize our youth, because they are the leaders of tomorrow, if not in the next couple of months. You never know. But this is one way to say thank you and recognize them. And it's hard to realize what they do until you hear from them and understand the things they've been doing. And so we want to recognize Ashley and Jordan, wherever he is, for their achievements and accomplishments in their personal involvement, not only in school, but also in the community, which really means a lot, I think, to Prescott Valley. They've demonstrated hard work to be here, obviously, or they wouldn't be here. And I think they pursue those goals that will hopefully be something they can pursue in the future in terms of higher education. And I assume that most of our students that are students of the month will go on to college. And this is where I'd like to plug on. I'm a graduate of the University of Arizona, and we're hoping they pull it out tonight. So as they say, bear down. So it's with sincere pleasure that we congratulate our Students of the Month. And we have a few things that we'd like to give you as mementos for tonight. And before I do that, because I don't know, I assume sometimes the students will recognize their parents or relatives, but if Ashley's parents are here or relatives, would you like to stand up so we can appreciate you as well? I know they're over here because they're not going to stand up. Are they shy? Okay, there they go. Because Ashley wouldn't be here without her parents, obviously, and their support, so we appreciate them as well. So I'm going to ask April to hand over the certificates, and I'll give them a little plaque. So this is it, and we appreciate April's involvement and the principal and the assistant principal. I hope to see both of you here every month, but we have a few more months. But we'll give one round of applause, one last round of applause for our Students of the Month. Come up here, we can take a picture right here. Come on, scooch up. Scooch up, scooch up. Be shy. Thank you, Council.
Next up, call the public. At this time, members of the public may comment on matters listed on the agenda or solely on matters within the jurisdiction of the town. Any persons wishing to address the council must register their names with the town clerk prior to the commencement of the meeting. The council's response is limited to responding to criticism, asking staff to review a matter commented upon, or asking that a matter be put on future agenda. Such remarks shall be limited to 3 minutes unless additional time is granted by the mayor. And as we've been doing, clerk will call 4 names. 2 people will go to one podium, 2 people will go to the next podium. You will have 3 minutes. When you have 30 seconds left, you will hear one bell sound, and that gives you that warning to kind of wrap it up. And then after your 3 minutes is up, you will hear the clerk hit the bell. You can go ahead and let them know what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. And then after your 3 minutes, your time is up. But your time is not up to speak with council. You can always make an appointment with staff or council anytime to discuss any matter in depth. Clerk?
Okay, the first 4 names are Bill Williams, Patricia Betzold, Atilano Olivas, and Tim Reynolds.
Welcome, everyone. Mr. Williams, we'll go with ladies first. Okay. Welcome, ma'am.
Missing someone. I'm Patricia Betzel at Stop Lakeshore 650. Last we met, I complimented the town on their efforts about moving forward with a wildlife overlay, but shared my concerns about what that really meant from the town's perspective. This week, we had the opportunity to see the status update on Lakeshore 650, and our concerns have deepened. The wildlife corridor proposed is centered on the Aqua Fria, making the usable wildlife corridor on either side approximately 350 feet wide if you scale it. No dimension is noted. Understanding that our American pronghorn is the second fastest animal on Earth that reaches speeds of 60 miles per hour when threatened, and that typically requires about 50 acres each to survive, and 1,000-foot wide overpasses because they're too cautious to enter narrow spaces. It is not a cow. It won't stand at a fence and let you look at it or approach it, and certainly it won't share a space with a public park, pedestrian bicycle paths, a utility corridor, a community center, and other amenities. Those are all disturbances to this animal. It's also not a space to dump other development requirements. They require real, natural open space, open grasslands, access to water, and enough distance from disturbances so they feel safe. Ideally, the width of the Aquafrio River at Lakeshore Drive would be appropriate, and that's approximately 2,000 feet wide. That would allow that basin to also help protect the river itself from contaminants and help recharge the aquifer. Observation points and trails could occur along the edges. The status update, however, does not address water quality. There's no protection of the Aquafrio River's catchment areas or watershed, no info on how contaminated runoff from the mega development will be cleaned before entering the river or its tributaries. There's no update on water quantity, so whether it's 3,000 homes or 3,500 homes, which would be the equivalent of maybe 9,000 people, constructing a water tower on Lakeshore 650 is not solving our water problem because it's taking water out of the same aquifer that we have been depleting for years, and that the town has announced doesn't have any more water available for housing. Nor does it mention the net zero water experiment that CWAG wants to conduct and that the Fanes website talks about. In addition, the latest staff report says that on March 25th, a new comprehensive plan has been approved, and it's going to apply to this project. And after looking at the summary, which goes into detail about how many times the plan could be changed after the PDP has been seen and approved by the public, I can only imagine that the changes allowed the developer are much more extensive than what is currently allowed. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Williams, welcome, sir.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council, Town Leadership, I'm celebrating my 16th year of homeownership in Prescott Valley. It appears to me that property owners and developers have incredible rights under the property rights laws and can practically build anything on their property if they cross all the T's and dot all the I's on their permits or plans. So I've had to do a bit of a mind shift recently, and I'm going to wish Mr. Whitney of the project that's replacing the NC University good luck and don't screw up on the assisted living center. We can't allow a second failure on the property. It would create a huge backlash against developers in general and the council in specific. I've talked to Mr. Whitney once on the phone and I've emailed him, and I want to talk about one exchange that we had, and it's about pronghorn antelope. I agree with some of Patricia's antelope issues, not all of them. I speak to experts every couple of weeks. Arizona Game and Fish has several staffers in this area. One is assigned to the Prescott Valley herd. No one in this town knows how many antelope we have because they've not been counted. It will take experts from Arizona Game and Fish, most likely in a helicopter, to get an accurate count. The vibe I get from Game and Fish is, hey, Prescott Valley, would you do something, please? We can't have our staff telling us they need 7 to 8 years to come up with a plan. We not only need an antelope-friendly fencing, we need a habitat and a corridor. I just posted on Save the PV Pronghorn Antelope on Facebook a fabulous video produced by the Wyoming version of Arizona Game and Fish. That link was sent to me by the Arizona Game and Fish Department. And it shows what a private-public partnership can do to save an entire herd. Also on that site is a link from Game and Fish about humane fencing for all of our four-legged creatures. I sent all of you, by way of the clerk and Mr. Davidson and Mr. Whitney, a link to those humane recommendations. I won't recite the whole document, you guys should read it. But smart ideas are in it, like raising the lower strand of wire on a typical cattle fence and not using barbs on the lower level because pronghorn will go under. Sorry. They also said add a U-shape crossing that allows the antelope to jump over. Give me about 15 seconds. The point is, we're probably going to need an overpass and an underpass on main roads in this area. We shouldn't fence them in or out. They will go where they want to go. We must facilitate their travel. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
My name is Tim Reynolds. Talk about NCU as well. So from the very beginning, when this Mendocino extension was proposed, the big benefit that the Planning and Zoning Office here always stated was it would be guttered, curbed, and sidewalks on both sides. It would be a city street, ready to go for development. That happened under many meetings I had with Ernest, even prior to 2 weeks prior to the last city council, when that was still the stated intent for that road. 2 weeks later, it comes up, kind of snuck under the barbed wire to say that this is now going to be designated as a rural section of city road. Doesn't need sidewalks, doesn't need curbs, doesn't need gutter. On one side of the road to be a walking path. My understanding of the ordinance, as it's stated, that also includes the University Drive and Sheridan roads, which gets a lot of civilian traffic. That would not be required there either. I really ask, please take the time, consider this before voting final on the ordinance you have before you tonight, that we need to go back to this road being a city road, ready for future development and not snuck in at the last minute as being something different. Second point, I wrote to you all and I asked, please go down to Navajo and Florentine roads. Stop. Take a look at those brand new 3-story apartments, get a real good visual picture. Then go out to University Drive, find 1 or 2 points where you can overlook that area, put those 3-story apartments on that property and add the 4th story. Is that something that we really want to see as a skyline in that area of Prescott Valley? That's been a recent addition as well. Originally, those were going to be 3-story apartment buildings, and then just not too long ago, changed to a 4-story apartment building. So when the city's negotiating the final development plan, I really ask, please, do we need 4 stories there or 3 stories sufficient? You're talking about 17 units per apartment building, or reducing his total building capacity by 34 units. So please give that some serious consideration on the final development plan. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Clerk, I'm sorry, I didn't know who the 4th name.
Datilano Olivas here.
Mr. Olivas, welcome.
Nice to see you guys again, especially you, Brenda. You're going to be my choice today. My citizens from Prescott Valley, I greet you. Brenda.
Mr. Olivas, I'm going to interrupt you. Don't go direct with any council member. You speak to the council as a whole, and don't turn around and speak to the audience. This is your opportunity. Otherwise, you won't be invited back, sir.
Okay. Why are we spending money on the library again? Living here 13 years. It's been 4 times that we spend money on the library. It leaks, the building stretches in the summer, it heats up, in the winter it cools down. We have water leaks. You got problems there. Can we afford this? The library is good for the community. My grandson likes to come here. He always asks to come to the library. But then I worry about the fungus and the water leaks. Is there any way we can do a good judgment on this and find out what the building codes are, how the building was good and studied, the drawings, and make it correct? Not have to spend a lot of money every 4 years.
Thank you, sir. Clerk, please call the next 4 names.
Austin Laney, Jerry Novak, Hank Bisek, and Jared Ludwig.
Welcome, sir.
Hi, how you doing? Am I up first?
Yes, sir, you are up.
Okay. Well, hi, thank you for your time, Mayor Palguda and council members. My name is Austin Laney. I am a father of 4 children, 3 girls and 1 boy. I held 2 jobs, one at an engineering firm and a home business. I am happily married to my wife, Miranda, a registered nurse. We have many animals on a little farm not far from here. I have lived in this area since 1991. I graduated high school in Chino Valley, and I joined the Navy after 9/11 to fight for my country. Upon returning, I completed my associate's degree at Yavapai College. I have watched this area grow for 33 years. I have family, friends bestrewn all across this area. As you can tell from this short recapitulation of my life, I am very time short, and I have many mouths to feed. Busy schedule aside, I have set aside some of my valuable time to respectfully address this proceeding. it has been brought to my attention that there are pejorative, opprobrious, or slanderous individuals who would have this committee believe that the leisure activity of disc golf is filled with profligate people, which in my opinion is the irrational articulations of a non-compos mentis. That means crazy. Oh. My observation of this family-friendly sport has been a positive aspect in the growth and development for my children. It teaches rules, camaraderie, sportsmanship, body mechanics, and the properties between air and solid bodies moving through it, otherwise known as aerodynamics. I would like to relay a short example of these things. When my second child, my son, was 5 years old, the Prescott Disc Golf Club instigated a league rule, which is still in their bylaws today, called the Connor Rule, the name of my son. That rule states that if a player chooses, he may play from the drive thrown by Connor. To this day, that is still a remembered rule, and Connor is still included and remembered by this community as well as the rule. He is 15 now and a much better player than when he was 5. My daughters are protected and watched closely on any course we go to by the brother and sisterhood that is the disc golf community. There isn't many places that a family can go that is safe as a disc golf course. I hope in the future you will expand this hobby to allow more families the opportunity to enjoy their community. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. My name is Jerry Novak, and I have been playing disc golf for over 46 years and have installed and designed excuse me, many courses in that time. I also have a 27-year-old son who plays it for a living. When I started playing in 1977, Arizona had 4 disc golf courses. The state now has over 152. Disc golf is considered by many to be one of the fastest growing sports in the world. There are many similarities between disc golf and ball golf. They both teach us about honesty, patience, and courtesy. Great attributes that children can learn from the sport. Disc golfers might not wear polo shirts with an alligator on it or ride around in a golf cart, but we play with the same patience and excuse me, courtesy as ball golfers. For example, when I am ready to throw, if there is any chance that someone may be hit by an errant throw, I will wait for that person to move or I will just skip that hole. All of the people I have played with over the years have the same attitude because most of the disc golf courses are in multi-use parks where hikers, bikers, and others share the use of the park. Disc golfers know this and are very aware of the consequences of being impatient. Having signage on the course alerting people to flying discs will help, but ultimately it is up to disc golfers to play safely. I think it's important to keep free disc golf courses open so that people can have a healthy way to exercise and just have fun. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Welcome, sir.
Hi, my name is Jared Ludwig. I am the president of Prescott Disc Golf Club, the nonprofit organization that built and designed Santa Fe Disc Golf Course. When we stepped into this project, we designed the course for the community. Everyone is able to play at Santa Fe. I also designed Watson Lake. Watson Lake is a course that is a little bit more elevated for people that can't come and play. Since we did Santa Fe, we took into consideration that people would be walking on the trails. People would be around there. That's what we want. We want people in the community to enjoy the sport that we all love. What has happened now is that we built a course with all the community in mind, and there are a few people that do not want this course, do not want us to play the sport that we love. I have been playing it for 15 years. I love the sport. I did the sport for free. I built it for free. I built it for my friends that want to go play. One person is trying to stop that course. She feels it is not safe. So she goes to the course and videos my players, videos me, then shares those videos and says, Jared Ludwig is drinking Fireball and smoking on the course. I've been sober for 12 years. I've never smoked a cigarette in my life. I've never done a drug in my life. For this person to tell that I'm drinking on the course is asinine. Okay? All I want to do is stop the harassing from her to the people that play the course. I want it to stop. If she has a problem with the safety, I want her to come to the Prescott Disc Golf Club, talk about it, see how we could change it, see what we could put in place to help the safety if that's the concern. If the community has a concern, the Prescott Disc Golf Club is willing to change the course around to make sure it fits the public. Thank you.
Welcome, sir.
Yes, thank you for listening. You're all probably aware of the situation last year in the town of Springerville up in the White Mountains where the governor tried to bus illegals into Springerville, okay? Springerville is a very small town. The mayor very courageously said, I don't think so, and they finally got that taken care of. My guess is the governor is continuing to do that. A friend of mine inquired recently is that, have we seen that situation here in Prescott Valley? And apparently, no. But the question still is, do we have illegals here? Has the state brought them in? Where are they being housed? I realize they're not being housed at the stadium and so forth, but that's an issue because we have a lot of people who wander around at night and are seeing a lot of people who are clearly foreigners. Now, that doesn't mean they're illegals, but they're around here. And the reason I bring this up is to address that issue, but also, more importantly, is that the issue of a threat of some sort of an attack. I don't know if you read the Wall Street Journal. Today's Wall Street Journal had a very powerful argument. It says America at risk. We're going to be attacked at some point. Christopher Wray, head of the FBI, has told us that we know that a lot of these illegals in here are terrorists. They have a list of to-do things when the word goes out. We know that Moscow was recently attacked. If you can believe this, we have a federal judge that about a month ago said it's okay for illegals to have guns. Really interesting when they don't want us to have guns, but the illegals can have guns. Now, hopefully we're kind of out of the mainstream of that kind of risk, but I don't think we can count on that. Because I think from everybody that's looking at this, including the Henninger article, which I have a copy for you today, we all need to at least take some precautions. So the question I throw out, and I just throw it out as a challenge, is to make sure, where are we on that? Are we prepared for that? Is our infrastructure watched over? Okay? 2 or 3 of us can go out very easily and take out a substation. And without electricity, we're dead, okay? So I just bring out that alert that we need to do whatever we need to, both from law enforcement, but from the structure to say, how are we prepared for something like that? What would we do in a case like that? Hopefully, God forbid it ever happens here, but we need to be prepared. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Could I give this copy of the Wall Street Journal article?
You can hand it to the clerk. She'll make sure we get a copy of it.
I'm sorry?
You can hand it to the clerk, sir. Clerk, do we have any more names?
We have Brian Shaw, Mark Sanchez, Michael Schumacher, and Randy Bosberg.
Welcome.
I would first like to start by thanking our town council for allowing me to also speak in support of our disc golf course at Santa Fe Park in Prescott Valley. My name is Brian Shaw, and I've been a part of the Prescott Valley Prescott community for the last 7 years. I've also been a licensed occupational therapist in Florida, Colorado, and Arizona over the last 14 years. I've had the opportunity to work directly with New Horizons Disability Empowerment Center locally to develop adaptive sports for our community, and also served on the board for the Salvation Army for 2.5 years. I would like to speak with you both on both the positive impacts of that disc golf can have on personal health and also the ways it has improved my life. First, I would like to speak to you as a healthcare professional. Over the last 14 years, I have dedicated myself to helping individuals obtain their highest level of independence and have focused the majority of my career on the elderly population. I would describe disc golf as a low-intensity aerobic activity. Low-intensity aerobic activity has been shown to have numerous health benefits, including but not limited to improving cardiovascular fitness by improving heart rate and blood pressure, decreasing the risk of falls and thus major injury by improving balance, promoting weight loss, and even reducing pain. From a psychological standpoint, it has also been shown to improve individuals' moods, decrease anxiety, and improve depression symptoms. All these benefits can greatly improve the quality and quantity of life of the residents of Prescott Valley. Second, I would like to speak to you as an individual. Disc golf has changed my life for the better. I myself suffer from depression. And as I've said earlier, I've made a lot of moves throughout the country for both school and my career. I'm a native Arizonan, born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona, and I was excited for the opportunity to return to our beautiful state and be closer to family. What I was not honestly excited for was the inevitability of having to uproot and form new relationships in this community. The disc golf community made that transition easy for me. Not only have they welcomed me with open arms, I've been able to form friendships that have made my decision of having Prescott Valley being my forever home instead of my next stop on my journey. Just recently, I was playing the course here at Santa Fe, and I ran into a gentleman who had never played disc golf prior to the course being installed. He told me that he had an opportunity to meet a couple locals regarding the sport, and when that conversation was over, he was gifted 2 discs so that he could start playing. He went home, did some research, and has been playing regularly since. Disc golf here in Prescott Valley is a perfect fit. It is low cost, accessible, and is a low-cost, accessible opportunity to have every member of our community involved in our beautiful environment that requires very little resources while also preserving the environment that makes Prescott Valley a wonderful place to live. I want to thank you all for your time today.
Thank you, sir. Welcome, sir.
Hi, my name is Mark Sanchez. I'm a disc golfer in this community as well. I run the league that happens here in Prescott Valley on Thursday nights, where I wish I were right now, throwing discs. It's something I love. I love to do it. Like Brian said, it's become an opportunity for me to gain outside time, walk around, be with the community of people that I love, and play Frisbee. It's very simple. We're throwing Frisbees at baskets. And yes, there have been times where there's been interactions with people on our course who don't wish us to be there. And we've done our best to make sure that we're following the rules that were provided to us by the city, saying that there's no drinking, no smoking. I emphasize those as a leadership for Thursday nights and make sure that everybody knows we're not drinking and smoking out there on the course. There have been interactions that were negative. I have also been involved in one of those where I was recorded by somebody on the course. And the bottom line for me, as the guy who's running a very simple small league on Thursday nights here in Prescott Valley, is just that we go out and have a good time. I want to have fun. I enjoy disc golf very much, and I am pleased, very pleased, that we even have the opportunity to have a disc golf course here in Prescott Valley. We used to go to Watson every single week and play, which is a great course, but to have one here in Prescott Valley is a benefit to the people who live in Prescott Valley as well, because it's easy to get to, it's accessible, it's free, low cost, discs are pretty inexpensive. And it's great to be able to walk out there on the walking path and see families, groups of people walking out there, walking dogs. You see whole families out there riding their bikes and throwing Frisbees. I do my best as the leader to make sure that we all follow the rules and that we also expand the sport as well. I often like to give discs away, teach people about it. When people come by and watch, I ask them, do you want to throw one? You know, and allow people to have the opportunity to see what it's really like. And it's a wonder to see people throwing a Frisbee for the first time, and they look and they go, wow. And then oftentimes they watch us throw, and sometimes some of us are pretty good, like Brian is pretty good. He throws the disc pretty far, and it's amazing to watch the disc fly 300, 400 feet. I just want to say that I really love the sport, and that I would love to see it continue to stay in this community and continue to grow in this community as it's grown on me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
My name's Randy Vosberg, and I got a couple quick items to talk about. First, I agree with, we really need to address the Pronghorn situation, and they do need a lot of space. They're gonna have to either do a corridor, overpass, something to that effect. But I would like the council to really take some consideration on that. Second item that I got is that on 2023 numbers, Arizona needs between 497 and 667 new primary care physicians. That's now. By 2030, they're projecting somewhere around 1,169. Arizona currently meets just 39.21% of the PCP needs. Arizona ranks 42nd out of 50 states for active PCPs. We're 21st in total active physicians. So Arizona also has one of the fastest growing populations, growing 11.3% between 2010 and 2020. The median growth is 0.55%. And so Yavapai County, right now, we're currently short 15.3 providers. And I just happen to know that from my primary care, who is changing practice and going to direct primary care, which means you have to pay upfront monthly to have that service from that physician, or you try to find other care. And there's 3 others that are quitting, and it's mostly due. My physician told me that it was changing because just overwhelmed, too many people to see every day, and didn't feel like could give proper care to the patients. So I would like the council to consider medical care while you're considering building more houses and bringing more people in when we don't have medical people to take care of what we have now. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Is Michael Schumacher here?
Schumacher, I don't see him.
Okay, Robert Vree and Team Hassler.
Welcome, sir.
Hello. So my name is Robert Vree, and I am a family practice medical doctor. I've lived here for 24 years, but you won't recognize my name because I did mission work in Central America, similar to Doctors Without Borders, but with a Christian group. So I've lived here 24 years. The street I'm on was pretty quiet until a couple of years ago. I thought it was single-family housing in my area, but someone bought a house and turned it into a boarding house with multiple people living there. And it's gotten very noisy and very dangerous. Talked to the police, tried to talk to you, but you were unavailable. A year ago, there were 3 very expensive vehicles with Mexico license plates there for several months. My neighbor, who's Hispanic, was absolutely convinced it was part of a drug cartel visiting whatever they were doing. One day I was walking in the street. We don't have sidewalks where I live. And one of these trucks came over like he was going to kill me, hit me and kill me. And you had to avoid him. And then they disappeared. And then there's multiple other people living there. But the problem is the noise and racing down the street 50 miles an hour, week after week after week after week. You go to the police department, no one will talk to you. They say you have to call dispatch. If you call dispatch, someone came out, talked to them, they have a good laugh when the police leave, and they crank up the music again, and they go racing their cars down the street. It's not an exaggeration. I believe it's like 50 miles an hour. Some kid's going to get killed someday, and then they'll run away and you won't find them. I don't know what to do. What is there to do about this problem? Do I move away, find a different town? No one seems to care. And the noise, you know, they have the massive stereo systems in their cars and very loud muffler systems. You literally can hear one of the cars all the way down the street, 100 yards away, thumping through your house, their music. My neighbors won't complain because they think their house will get vandalized or they'll get killed. One neighbor's an Air Force veteran. He carries his gun with him, but nothing changes, and I don't know what to do.
Thank you, sir. Does the clerk have your contact information?
No.
If you would just give it to the clerk, and then Mr. Davidson will be following up with you. Go ahead, sir.
All right, let's finish this off with more disc golf talk. My name's Tim. I live in PV, just down the road from Santa Fe Station Park. I'm here to show my support for the disc golf course, and I must say that putting in the course was a great idea. The thousands of tract homes surrounding the course destroyed the land, so it's great that we made the most out of the drainage ditch to preserve a bit of nature. Adding a low-impact sport like disc golf is a great way to ensure it's preserved. Disc golf isn't just about flinging discs and getting some exercise. For me, it's about community. I've made more friends on those fairways than I can count, from doctors to plumbers to software engineers, you name it. I've seen toddlers to people over 80 all having a blast playing disc golf. If you want to meet a member of your community, start playing disc golf. It's truly a sport for everyone. One day I was walking back to my car after a round at Santa Fe. A father stopped me with a very shy son to ask about what I was doing. After a nice conversation, I went back to my car, I grabbed a few discs for the two of them, and fast forward a few months, I ran into them again. The kid wasn't shy anymore like I remembered. He was bursting with energy, showing me his new discs and how far he could throw. He threw well beyond the basket on hole 5, which was about 300 feet. There's a lot of adults sitting here today that can't throw that far. His dad said that they have been playing multiple times a week, and disc golf has become his kid's life. Unfortunately, an individual in our town has been trying to rob these types of precious moments. I'm truly embarrassed for her and her actions, so I won't mention her name. The disc golf community has been referring to her as Karen. I've had many run-ins with Karen since the course was established. She has become the paparazzi of disc golfers. I'm not sure what the purpose of videos of me weed whacking and playing disc golf could serve, but the constant harassment is uncomfortable and unnecessary. I've witnessed on multiple occasions where Karen baits disc golfers to throw in her direction. I've seen her go out of her way to walk near baskets, hide behind or near them, and walk slowly around the fairways looking like Joe Biden exiting a stage. After all of that, I've never seen anyone take the bait. I'm not sure why anyone would go to the lengths that Karen has to take joy away from others. Based on one of the meetings I attended before the course was installed, it seemed that a disc golf course was simply just not what she wanted. Let's not allow our selfish interests to rob others of happiness. We're all adults here. Throwing a temper tantrum for not getting what we want should have ended a long time ago. Disc golf has grown an insane amount over the last 4 years, and pros are signing multi-million-dollar contracts. Wouldn't it be cool to see a touring pro come from Prescott Valley? It could be that kid that I met. Let's continue to build dreams, not fences, because in the end, it's all about spreading joy and making memories. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, sir.
No one else, Mayor.
Next up, council comments. We'll start on the end. Councilwoman Leyva.
Just a quick comment. I actually use our app. I don't know if you guys are aware that we have a really cool app. It's called RPV. And I got the response right away. I had some overgrown. So shout out to our Parks and Recs. They took care of it right away. I got a response right away. It works amazing. So I got the issue taken care of within like a couple of days. So thank you. Guys, explore the app. It's called RPV. Download it on your phones. It's amazing.
Councilwoman. Vice Mayor.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here today. I want to give a big shout out to the NAZ Wranglers. They play at Findlay Toyota Center. They have a game tomorrow at 6 p.m. against Saturday, sorry. They have a game Saturday at 6 p.m. against the Tucson Sugar Skulls, who will be coming up to Prescott Valley. And Dean, my husband Dean, and I are the proud adoptive parents of Arsha McCorker, and he's a wide receiver, and he's number 7. So he's the one that made all those runbacks, I think they were called, at the last game. So please support the NAZ Wranglers. And I also been doing some research on our website and on the Public Works page. So if you go to the Public Works page, there is a section there that you can click on capital improvement projects. And if you're on that page, you can click on interactive CIP map. And so CIP means capital improvement plan. And there you will find that this council approved 10 projects for 23-24 that were budgeted, so that those projects will either be started and or built and finished by the end of 24, which is July 24. And I'm happy to say that I did some research, and this town council appropriated for capital improvement projects, including roads. And this doesn't mean this doesn't include parks or buildings or anything else. This is just roads in the amount of $29 million for 23-24. So I'm very excited. 10 projects in the amount of $29 million for the year 23-24. So tell your friends. I know we've been criticized in the past for not spending money on roads, but I can promise you that this is just the beginning of future capital improvement programs to spend more money on roads in Prescott Valley.
Councilwoman.
So I was able to attend the Agapeville 2 construction update on Bob Drive, and they currently have 6 foundations in a prep stage. The day I attended, they were trying to beat the weather. They were putting in all the sidewalks, and when you're pouring concrete, weather's a consideration. They were paving the parking lot area, and they had a great little update to everything there. So I just wanted to give a shout out to them. They're doing a great job getting ready, and they're helping single parents. It's women and men, maybe that have come from an abusive situation that have children, and they're giving them a helping hand and getting started over again. So they're an amazing group to work with. And the other thing I wanted to mention that I was able to attend, we have a Chamber of Commerce group that meets. It's called Alive After 5, and it's just a chance for business owners to get together and visit. And they hosted this last one at The View. And The View was a contentious building project. A lot of people did not want that to go in. The View is a temporary housing apartment building, basically, where you can do 4 weeks of a rolling lease. It's like 28-day leases. And it was an amazing project. They're already sold out. They've already, at full capacity. I won't say sold out because it changes all the time. But they do have a waiting list of 4 tenants wanting to get in. So being at full capacity, I hear a lot of people make comments, what if it fails? What if somebody builds something and it won't go forward? Well, this is proof in showing us that these projects are needed in our community. So I just wanted to let you know, when people are talking about affordable housing, for $1,350 a month sounds like a lot. It does to me. I have a house with a low house payment, but this is all inclusive for a 1-bedroom. It includes electric, water, renter's insurance, Wi-Fi, direct TV, and furniture included. It has a work area in case you're traveling and you need a place to put your computer. It offers a refrigerator, stovetop, microwave, smart TV. They have a pool on site, spa, fitness center, barbecue area, and even a laundry facility. So it was very impressive to see and to be able to tour the units that are there. And so I just wanted to give them a shout out as well for a successful business that's come to our town as well. Thank you.
Councilwoman Dickinson.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. I want to congratulate our Prescott Valley Parks and Rec Department for a very successful signature event, the extravaganza, this last week. And we want to, yes, did an excellent job. It was well attended. There were lots of activities. It was very hard to know which one to go to. I walked around and saw the kids enjoying the egg hunts and the rides, and the parents. I talked to a number of parents there, and they were from all over the Quad City area, as well as from Cottonwood and from the Verde Valley. So it was a very successful signature event. We have 4 signature events, and our next one will be the Red, White, and Boom in July. And we look forward to another very successful event. But I just wanted to mention how wonderful it was being there. In spite of the wind and the weather, it was very cold and windy, and yet people were out there enjoying their time with their families. And so anyway, look forward to the next one. Thank you.
Councilwoman.
Yes, I also wanted to give a shout out to the town staff. They did a wonderful job of organizing and putting on that event. And yes, everyone enjoyed it immensely. Thank you.
Mr. Davidson.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, ditto to the shout out to the great efforts of the entire team. And thank you for the shout out on the PV app. And tied to that is we do have a community cleanup day coming up on May 4th. And the reason I mention it now is it's in a new location. Historically, it had been near our wastewater treatment location. We are moving that location to the waste management landfill site off of Lake Valley and 2nd Street. This will help us to save money. It'll be more efficient and more convenient for the broader community. So again, May 4th will be a community cleanup. Anyone can load up vehicles, trucks, and bring stuff that is collecting at your house or in a yard and be able to dispose of it properly. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next up, consent agenda. All matters listed under consent agenda are considered routine by the town council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. Council, we have had a chance to review our packet. If you have any questions, if not, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve all items listed under consent agenda by electronic vote.
I'll second.
Clerk, please call the vote.
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Next up, item 9, old business, ZMC 23-007, Arizona Senior Living Community. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council. Staff has no additional comments or presentation on this, but the applicant and his team are here to answer any questions if you have any.
Council, we have any questions for the applicant? Does the applicant's representative want to say anything?
Mr. Mayor, council members, my name is Stephen Polk with Boyle Petridge, Klein Winkton Stallings, 125 North Grant Street, Prescott, Arizona. Also with me is the project team. We have Richard Whitney with Platinum Realty Services as the developer, Doug Stroh of Stroh Architecture, and Jesse Dowling of Pender Engineering. I previously presented on our application back at the March 14th meeting. I'm not intending on representing today unless the council would like that. I'd be happy to go over any of the material I previously presented on, and our whole team is available to answer any questions. Our application is to rezone 10,000 University Drive, where the old NCU University building is, and to allow the development of the North Central Arizona Senior Living Community there. I believe this project is a sensible, responsible use of the property. Project includes significant accommodations to try to mitigate its impacts on the surrounding community. And I believe this project is ultimately good for the community. And so I would urge you to vote yes today on the rezoning. and I'm available for questions. Thank you.
Anything for Mr. Polk? Clerk, go ahead and read the ordinance.
Ordinance number 2024-936. An ordinance of the mayor and common council of the town of Prescott Valley, a municipal corporation of Arizona, amending the town zoning map ZMC 23-007 for the AC Senior Living Community Project located southeast of Superstition Drive and Sheridan Lane, 10,000 University Drive, from PLPAD Public Lands Planned Area Development to RSPAD Residential and Services Planned Area Development zoning, and providing that this ordinance shall be effective 30 days after its passage and approval according to law.
Clerk, shall this ordinance pass?
Councilmember Dickinson, thank you. Councilmember Greer. Mr. Mayor, that passes 5-2.
Thank you, ma'am. Next up, new business. Item 10, approve election renewal alternative expenditure limitation. This is a public hearing, which is open right now. Welcome, ma'am.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of council. I'm here to answer any questions that you might have on the alternate expenditure home rule option.
Do we have any questions for staff at this time? If not, this is a public hearing, so if there's anyone out in the audience that wishes to speak about this item, you are more than welcome to come on down. Not all at once. So, seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing. Thank you, ma'am. And at this time, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Have a second?
I second it.
Clerk, please call the vote.
Mr. Mayor, that passes unanimously.
Thank you, ma'am. We're going to adjourn for this, and then we're going to start back up with a special town council meeting as well. So we're adjourned. And now we're back open for another special town council meeting. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Leyva.
Here.
Councilmember Greer.
Here.
Councilmember Dickinson.
Here.
Councilmember Hepperly.
Here.
Councilmember Schumacher.
Present.
Vice Mayor Hunt.
Here.
Mayor Polgota.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, because we're doing this for legal purposes, I've been advised, so I'll entertain a motion for election renewal, alternative expenditure limitations, unless staff has any, or unless council has questions for staff. Not seeing any questions, I'll entertain a motion. We have the verbiage for the motion. Mr. Legler. Not in my packet, no, sir.
Okay. Simply want to have the,
Have it.
okay.
Let's read. Motion to authorize the mayor to sign resolution number 2023-2365, setting an election on July 30th for Prescott Valley voters to consider renewal of the alternative expenditure limitation.
Mr. Mayor, I make that my motion.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Clerk, please call the roll call vote.
Councilmember Dickinson.
Yes.
Councilmember Schumacher.
Yes.
Councilmember Hepperly.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hunt.
Yes.
Mayor Polgota.
Yes.
Councilmember Greer.
Yes.
Councilmember Leyva.
Yes.
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. And we are now adjourned for the special town council meeting. Have a good night, everyone.